This trial is a disgrace. Never happened. A thing like this has never happened before. I just simply, I put in financial statements with a disclaimer. In other words, don't even bother reading them to the banks. I borrowed money on, very under leverage, borrowed money on a building or something, make a different thing. I borrowed the money, I paid back the money in full, 100%. There were no defaults, there were no letters of reprimand, the banks were extremely happy, and in many cases I paid the money back early. And then I got sued years later by this horrible attorney general, this woman that ran for governor and failed. You know, she did this because she was running for governor. And then she ran and she failed. She had no polls and they forced her out. And she came back and she became attorney general again. And we got stuck with it.
That was Donald Trump whining as he entered court for day 3 of trial in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case against Donald Trump. In addition to whining like you just saw and saying that he believes his disclaimer, which he calls a worthless clause, means that all of his statement of financial conditions and other financial representations and fraud should not even be evaluated by banks or tax authorities or insurers. It should just be completely viewed as worthless. Donald Trump here attacks New York Attorney General Letitia James and calls her a political animal. Play the clip.
You borrow money, you pay it back, and you get sued by a political animal. And that's where we are. And that's the way it goes. And that's why New York State is failing, and that's why companies are leaving by the thousands. I'll see you later. Thank you.
So you have Donald Trump saying that he can commit fraud if he has a disclaimer, which is false. You have Donald Trump calling the New York Attorney General a political animal, dehumanizing her. And here you have Donald Trump whining, saying that if he had a jury, he would win, but because he doesn't have a jury, that's the reason why he is losing. Play the clip.
But if I had a jury, we'd win this case very easily, but I don't have a jury. And you see what's happening. It's the railroading. And it's the beginning of communism in our country. This is the beginning of communism. So we're going back in, playing the game, doing everything right. But just to remember, I borrow money, the statements were perfect. Not only perfect, the statements are much more conservative than my real net worth. My real net worth is much higher, much higher than the state.
Well, you don't have a jury, Donald Trump, because your lawyer, Alina Habba, failed to check the box saying that you wanted a jury trial. You did not demand a jury trial, nor have you challenged the fact that there is no jury trial at all in any of the pleadings, in any of the paperwork. So let me get this straight. You're going out there every single day, you whine and saying that you have a disclaimer that allows you to commit fraud, which isn't true. You call the prosecutor a political animal. You're whining that you don't have a jury trial. Also, by the way, the Judge Engoron, has already granted partial summary judgment against you. Whether there was a jury trial or not a jury trial, the judge has the power to grant summary judgment, and the judge found, based on the undisputed facts, based on the statements that you made, based on the tax assessments, based on the statement of financial conditions, based on the statements by your outside accountants, like the one testifying today, Donald Bender from the Meiselas firm, that there was persistent and systemic fraud by you, your adult kids, Don Jr. and Eric, and the various entities you control, like the Trump Organization. Here, by the way, is Donald Trump Trump before he goes into court for the day. He's asked a question about becoming Speaker of the House because our media is completely broken and they think that having someone like Donald Trump call the prosecutor a political animal is hilarious. And they're asked questions like, oh, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that you would become the Speaker of the House. Would you become the Speaker of the House? And Donald Trump says that he thinks that Marjorie Taylor Greene's a great person and that he would consider it. Here, play this clip.
Speaker. Who should be Speaker, Mr. President?
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party.
Would you take a job?
Great people. We just want to say we have some great people.
Would you take a job?
A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm focused. You know, we're leading. I don't know you. I'm sure you don't read too much in the papers, but we're leading by like 50 points for president. You know, my focus is totally on that. If I can help them during the process, I would do it. But we have some great people in the Republican Party that could do a great job as Speaker. Well, what about
Marjorie
you?
Taylor Greene called for you to be Speaker yesterday.
I think she's a wonderful woman, Marjorie, and a lot of other people vote for that too. I'll do whatever it is to help, but my focus, my total focus is being president and, quite honestly, making America great again, because we are living in a country in decline. This is a country that's failing badly.
So this follows Donald Trump having a gag order imposed on him after he threatened Judge Engoron's law clerk in day 2 of trial. Donald Trump posted a false, malicious, and defamatory message on his social media platform with a photo of Judge Engoron's law clerk, who's heavily involved in these proceedings, who's in court while Donald Trump is in court, while testimony is taking place. Donald Trump is like loudly whispering and whining to his lawyers, and he's posting on his social media like a petulant third grade fascist bully. He's posting that the judge's law clerk with a photo and her Instagram link is a girlfriend of Chuck Schumer, and that's why he's losing, just spreading utterly deranged and dangerous conspiracies. So the judge called him into chambers, imposed a gag order on him because of his despicable conduct. And with the gag order, Donald Trump is still doing all of the things I showed you, and all of these video clips of Donald Trump. He's still engaging in that conduct. So what's going on in day 3 of trial? More testimony from Donald Trump's outside former accountant from the Meiselas firm, which no longer represents Donald Trump. Donald Bender, who's been providing testimony about Donald Trump's false financial valuations and how Bender warned them. And that will be in stark contrast to Donald Trump's CFO, who will testify soon, Alan Weisselberg. Here's a little portion of Alan Weisselberg's deposition where Weisselberg says he's not a CPA and he doesn't know generally accepted accounting principles. Play the clip.
If I said the phrase GAP, GAAP, are you familiar with that acronym?
I've heard of that, yes.
Okay. Tell me everything you know about GAP. What is GAP?
Generally accepted accounting principles. I don't know what's in GAAP. I never took the CPA exam.
Okay.
And never studied for it. So I don't know all the various components of what GAAP is.
Are there any components you know about what GAP is?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Which is noteworthy, by the way, because Donald Trump, in his deposition testimony, and Trump's going to be testifying at trial soon, said that Alan Weisselberg was the one who knew generally accepted accounting principles. Play the clip.
To meet your obligation here of presenting the information in accordance with GAAP, was Alan Weisselberg responsible for that?
Object to the form.
I would say yes.
And folks, all of that is important because Donald Trump and the Trump organization would sign documents that the statements conformed with generally accepted accounting principles, and nobody at the Trump organization knows what generally accepted accounting principles are, so their certifications were false as well. We'll keep you updated as we get more information, but there you have a petulant, whiny, Donald Trump acting so disgraceful, which is par for the course with him, but he's a complete and utter embarrassment for our nation. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers here at the MeidasTouch Network. And if you want to support the growth of this independent platform, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.